This is an engaged exhibition on Islamophobia, raising awareness, how Muslims are treated in the media, how Muslims are represented in the media, how they're demonized, how they're only seen through the prism of extremism or terrorism.
My lords, ladies and honored guests, for the benefit of those who are seeing me for the first time, my name is I'm a trustee of Engage. But may I say how delighted I am to welcome you all on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the staff at Engage to this important exhibition on Islamophobia.
So, brothers, sisters, respected guests, I begin with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum. We're in the Palace of Westminster, we do it much louder than that. Assalamu alaikum.
Until recently, I honestly believe the establishment did not seek to deal with Islamophobia. It was not on the agenda.
I mean, Engage, their job description is to be involved in media awareness, in political participation and in civic engagement.
We just wanted to look at how Muslims and Islam were written about in the UK press. What did we find? Well, we found some quite shocking things. Remember, we were looking at Islam and Muslims. But actually, the word terrorism and terror is more frequent in that data than the word Islam itself. So that shows you this shocking connection that exists in the UK press between discussions of terrorism and discussions of Islam. It's almost obsessive, the connection that's created between them, to the degree that there is more discussion of terrorism in those articles than of the religion itself.
Engage prompted us to set up on a cross-party basis the all-party group on Islamophobia. We had a very effective meeting the other day with journalists, going through exactly the way in which journalism misrepresents Islam and Muslims on a regular basis. And our next session is to deal with editors of newspapers and editors of TV programs, not an uncontroversial topic for today, who we need to hold to account.
I think the situation, so far as people's attitudes towards those who hold the Muslim faith, you have an attitude amongst the popular press which is between prejudice and ignorance, and sometimes a bit of both.
Muslims are demonised too often in the press. How many of us open a newspaper and see the word Muslim before criminal, or the word Muslim before terrorist, or the word Muslim before extremist, the word Muslim before honour killings? And it breaks our hearts, and it leads to an impression in the community that Jack talked about. The reason why all white communities think we're all bad is because they rely upon the medium of the media to get their message about this great faith.
We believe that the journalists have a choice. They choose, or they do not choose, to highlight a certain identity when reporting. They can say there's been an act of violence. Why identify that the person is a Muslim?
We need to get to a point where what confession, what religion, what faith somebody holds is unexceptional, except that we need to know about it.
When can we in this country notice someone's colour as important as the colour of their eyes and the colour of their hair? Notice their race, notice their religion. It doesn't tell us how we should judge them. I think when we can get the answer to that question, we'll be a society which is at peace with itself, far better at overcoming obstacles and far better at sharing what matters.
You look at somebody like Mo Farah, he actually does make his Islamic identity central to everything that he does. He prays before he races, and he's been very clear in saying that actually Islam is useful to him in his career as a sportsman. But I did a little study looking at how the press reported his running. And in 1/3 words that was printed about him in August, only 23 mentions of the word Muslim exist. The press choose not to highlight that identity, which is central to him when reporting on him, but they choose to identify people as Muslims when they're engaged in acts of violence. So this is a very active choice to be negative on behalf of the press.
When I was downstairs, one of the police officers, I think I misheard him, he said there's lots of Islamophobes upstairs, the room's packed out. I think he meant to say the meeting on Islamophobia was packed out.
So this is my last point. I found in this country the greatest level of racism and of religious intolerance is to be found in those areas which are completely white. And that's, of course, the theme of the Engage exhibition out there. We've got to ensure that people are educated, informed.
The idea behind this exhibition is to waken people up and say, look, Muslims are ordinary people. Muslims are citizens of this country. Muslims are British as anyone else. So the exhibition, what it does is highlights how media portrays Muslims. It's got a few examples of hate crimes, how mosques are attacked, how individuals are attacked. But most importantly, it finishes off with the positive contributions that British Muslims make to the UK.